welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be sharing my Oreo ball recipe with you all, and this is very easy. I did it for Valentine's Day, but you could do it for whatever occasion. They would make great like table treats, like for a gender reveal party or any kind of party, but I just did it for Valentine's Day, and they're really quick and easy, so it could be a last minute Valentine's treat to make. So luckily, I got it up before Valentine's Day, but enough about that. I did run into a few problems while making this, and I will discuss that when I get to that part in the video. But for now, let's go ahead and jump right on in. You will need 36 Oreos. You will need the cookie and the cream, so you will need the whole Oreo. 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. You do not need the butter, and do not use these white chocolate chips. I'm just going to mash these Oreos up and try to get them as fine as possible. You could put it in a food processor if you have one, but I do not have one. So I'm just going to use a pint jar and try to mash them and get them as fine as I can. And it worked out just fine. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about the ingredients. The butter you do not need. That was only for the white chocolate chip morsels. And I did not use those. I tried to use them, but they just globbed up and got hard. They did not melt. So while I was in the middle of making these, I had to run to town and get some more chocolate. And you do not have to use the butter for this chocolate that I used, and I will show that here in just a few minutes. I'm just dumping these Oreos into a bowl now, and then I'm going to add in the cream cheese. And it's very important that you make sure that the cream cheese does become warm and soft, because if not, then it's not going to mix up too well and it's going to become like lumpy. So make sure you set your cream cheese out for a few hours. I left mine out for 4 hours and it was just about perfect. But one thing I did run into was this bowl was not deep enough, so make sure you have a deep bowl. As you can tell, I was fighting with it because the stuff kept wanting to come out of the top. Now that I got it all mixed up, I have lined a baking dish with some wax paper. You could use a cookie sheet, but I could not find my cookie sheet, so I just used this cake pan. But now you're just going to take the Oreos and you're going to roll them into 1-inch balls. And you're going to notice that I'm just using my hands because I thought that's what was easiest. But if you would like, you could use a spoon or however you want to do it, but I do have clean hands and I just thought using my hands was easiest. Here they are after I got them all rolled out, and it made 27, but as you can tell, I was not very good on making them the same size. This is the chocolate I used. It's not really chocolate, it's American's candy coating, but this is what I used and it worked out just fine. This is a 16-ounce block, and I'm just going to cut it in half and then cut this into small chunks just to make melting a little easier. And the recipe calls for 8 ounces of chocolate, but I actually ended up using 16 ounces because I did a little decorating, so it took the whole 16-ounce block. But if you're not planning on doing any decorating, I believe you could get away with the 8 ounces. Since it is Valentine's Day, I'm going to be putting in 1 drop of this flashy pink food coloring, and this is a gel food coloring. You could use the liquid, whatever you prefer. The gel is just what I had on hand, and as you can tell, it makes this really pretty pink. And this is 8 ounces with 1 drop of the gel food coloring. Now I'm putting in toothpicks into every single ball just to make them easier to handle when I'm dipping them into the chocolate. And I'm just going to roll them around and try to get them coated the best that I can. And then once I'm done with that, I'm just going to sort of spin it around and try to get off any excess chocolate. And here they are after I've dipped all of them, and as you can tell, I did half of them pink, half of them white. Now I'm just going to take the toothpicks out and then just turn them over so that the part that doesn't have any chocolate on it is on the bottom and you can't see that. Before you do this, you want to make sure that the chocolate has hardened up. And if it hasn't hardened up, you can just stick them in the freezer for about 5 minutes and then pull them back out and they will be ready. To do a little bit of decorating, I'm going to put a sandwich bag down into a pint jar, or you could use a cup, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to pour the chocolate into that sandwich bag, and then I will cut a tiny little hole in the corner of the sandwich bag and use it as a piping bag. Here they are once I was done decorating them, and now I'm just going to take them off the wax paper and put them in a bowl, and you need to refrigerate them for 1 hour before serving. That's it, you all. I hope y'all enjoy these, and I hope to see y'all in the next one. Bye guys!